Hello, hello, hello. This is my second video of the day. That's me doing a really bad accent again. This is basically going to be my thoughts and predictions for UFC 77 Hostile Territory. Didn't really write that in the log because nobody's really going to know it as that. They're going to know it as Hostile, or as Franklin versus Anderson Silva 2. So, starting off, Ryan Jensen versus Damian Maia. Uh, It's gonna be one of those not shown, so not too many. It might be shown if it's a good fight or it's a quick fight, and they got extra time on the card. I got Jensen via sub in the first. I don't know much about Maya. I know he's undefeated, and I think Jensen is a pretty good submission artist. So, not good submission artist, but a decent submission artist. So we'll just see how good he is. I got to see both of those in action a little bit more before I really get too detailed about any of this stuff. Predicting them too well. Josh Berkman versus Forrest Petts. That's going to be the second match of the night. See, Josh Berkman is one of those guys where he's kind of like Melvin Gilliard. He comes on strong and hard, or he doesn't really bring a good game. I mean, when you get him in the first round, he's a pretty bad guy. But after the first round, when you get him in a rhythm, he starts doing very badly. So I'm going to pick Berkman by submission in the first round. He does have some pretty explosive submissions. He's probably going to put Forrest in a little bit of trouble, put him on his back, ground and pound him a little bit, and Forrest is going to probably give up his back, and I see Josh coming in for a rear naked choke really hard and really quick. Might be wrong about that because you don't know which Josh Berkman's coming to the fight. It could be the good Josh Berkman that's explosive and quick and hard, and could be the one that's kind of timid. Third fight of the night, we got George Gurgel versus Alvin Robinson. Alvin Robinson is just coming off of a loss to Kinflo. And I think George Gurgel is everything Kinflo is and plus a little bit more. I think he's got a little bit better stand-up, or maybe better hands, I should say. Maybe not better kicks, but better hands than Kinflo and better jits than Kinflo. So I think it's going to be a lot like what happened in the Kinflo fight. George Gurgel, if he pushes the pace, should sink in a submission in the second round. He's stronger than Kinflo, so he should be able to control Alvin a little bit better with his good jiu-jitsu. Fourth fight, Matt Grice, the Wolverine Matt Grice, Oklahoma's own, versus Jason Black. This is a wrestler's match. Basically, I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into a wrestling match as well because I don't see too much jits going to be happening between these two. I think it's going to be ground and pound, takedown, who's going to control, lay and pray. Problem with all this is Matt Grice is naturally a smaller guy, therefore he won't have as much trouble making 155 as Jason Black will. Jason Black had a lot of trouble in his last fight against Thiago Tavares making 155, and it showed. He was slow, he was sluggish, and Tavares jumped all over it and made himself look really good in comparison. I think Tavares is that good, but I also think Jason Black is better than that. If he dieted well this time, he might be a little bit different, but I just don't see it happening. I see Jason Black coming in tired again. He's going to come in looking sloppy. He's going to come in looking sluggish again. And I think Matt Grice is going to get the unanimous decision. Sorry, I can't speak today. Next fight, Eric Schaefer versus Stephan Bonnar. I like Schaefer. I think he's a pretty funny guy, and he's got some pretty good submissions. But Bonnar's just gonna be a bigger guy. He's gonna be a lot more aggressive, and he's got good enough submission defense. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Come on, I mean, he's gonna have good enough submission defense that I think he'll be able to nullify Schaefer's submissions. And Schaefer's not really known for his ground and pound or his stand-up, so that's pretty much gonna leave Schaefer between a rock and a hard place. So I'm picking Bonnar by unanimous decision because the only fight I've seen Bonnar in has been via submission, and I don't see him pulling a submission off on Schaefer. And his hands have not shown me that kind of knockout stopping power that he needs to have. So it's going to go to decision, and it's going to go unanimous decision by total control due to Bonnar's better wrestling and bigger frame, I should say. Next fight, Alan Belcher versus Caleb Starnes. Both of these are pretty interesting fighters. Both of them have really good talent. I think Caleb Starnes is one of the more talented guys, but he has no heart. He folds like the Buffalo Bills at the Super Bowl. It's really sad when you actually think about it. Not a very good role model for Canadian fighters. So I don't know if too many Canadian fighters would want to claim him as Canadian. No offense to Canadians. Actually, total offense to Canadians. Who am I kidding? Uh, I got Starnes winning this by unanimous decision, but if Belcher gets in his face and puts the pressure on Starnes, and hurts Starnes, I mean, he just gets in there and lands a couple of good shots on him, Starnes is gonna curl up and fold. I mean, he started doing that when Lieben hit him with that good liver kick at the very end of the fight. If Lieben would have done that in the first round, Lieben would have beat him. I mean, that's all you got to do is just hurt Caleb Starnes, and Caleb Starnes does not like getting hit. Uh, but I do got Caleb Starnes winning via unanimous decision. Yeah. So next fight, Yushin Okami versus Jason McDonald. I've been talking to a lot of new fans about this, casual fans as we like to call them, and they think I mean, maybe it's because Yushin Okami, they don't know much about him. That he hasn't been very publicized. He's kind of like John Fitch. He's just now starting to get publication, and they only know him from the Mike Swick fight and the Rich Franklin fight. I don't know, but they really do think that Jason McDonald, somebody that's been getting a little bit more airplay, is going to beat Yushin Okami, like, badly. So if you find anybody stupid enough to take a bet on that, bet the farm on Yushin Okami. I mean, the dude's bigger than Jason McDonald. He's stronger than Jason McDonald. Jason McDonald might have subs on him, but Yushin Okami I don't think has ever been subbed. Not subbed with a submission. So, I mean, I just don't see it happening. He's fought better competition than Jason McDonald and didn't lose via sub. So, and that's all McDonald can do is decision or sub. So it's going to be Okami. He's going to open up in the third round. He likes to tire out his guys, toy with them, and then in the third round, unleash all his energy and just let loose. And just like he did in the Swick fight, he's going to do this to McDonald, and McDonald's going to fold. McDonald can't really defend much ground and pound. Rich Franklin proved that. McDonald doesn't like ground and pound, so he's gonna get beaten up a little bit throughout the round. He might look pretty decent on the ground, but Yushin Okami is going to tool him on the ground on the third round. Next fight of the night would be Brandon the Truth Vera versus Tim the Maine-iac Silva. This is probably the more interesting fight of the night. Probably not going to be the more entertaining. It might be, but it's one of the more interesting fights. Mainly because I want to see what Tim Silva comes. Lately, it's been the Tim Silva that's been very playing it safe. Maybe he doesn't want to get hurt again. Maybe he just doesn't want to lose. I mean, since he came back, he fought Gannon McGahee, which he did everything the way he's been doing, jabbing, keeping the distance, winning the fight, and then he hit him with that high kick that ended the fight, I think, 10 seconds before the fight was over. That's just when he started letting go. I think he knows he needs to be a lot more aggressive. He knows he needs to put on a show. And if he puts on a show and he comes ready to fight, he comes the Tim Silva that fought and tooled Cabbage, fought and tooled Rico Rodriguez at his prime, Brandon Vera is going to have a lot of trouble. I don't care what the nut huggers say. Brandon Truth Vera has a lot of nut huggers. Brandon does not belong in the heavyweight division. He's too small. The heavyweight division. The only reason why he's a star in the heavyweight division is because the heavyweight division is very light right now. It's very thin. When Brandon Vera does fight a true heavyweight, which there aren't many out there for some reason right now, when he does fight a true heavyweight and that weight differential gets put on him, he's going to have a lot of trouble, and I think this might prove it if Tim Silva comes ready to bang. Even if he doesn't come ready to bang and he comes trying to play it safe, he still might pull the win. Because, I mean, Tim Silva, I don't know why people give him a hard time. I know why you give him a hard time because he's not a likable guy, but he's able to win fights. He's got the tools. Brandon, what he needs to do, he needs to attack Tim's legs via leg kicks. I mean, the only person that's ever done that was Andrei Arlovsky, and unfortunately Andrei broke his leg before he can really get the leg kicks to pay off. They were working really well for him. So I got Tim Silva via unanimous decision, and I'm about to run out of time. Holy cow. I guess I'm going to make a new one in about 2 seconds. So. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this thing all wrong. So, yeah, Tim Silva via unanimous decision. I don't think Brandon Vera's clinch is going to work for him that well. Last fight of the night, probably the most... I'm not really interested in watching it that much because I don't want to see a rerun, but Rich Franklin versus Anderson Silva. I think only difference is Rich Franklin's not going to be as stupid as to get in the clinch. I think they're going to fill each other up at first, and he might try to take it to the ground, but I see Anderson Silva winning his third round via TKO. Not much to say about that. So, all right, that's it, guys. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.